How's it going, everybody? It is Wednesday, May 27th, and we are live Superhero Storytime with Super Captain Brave Man. Good day, everybody. My name is Jennifer Norman, and I'm here with my trusty sidekick, Kyle Norman, and we are so excited. We have some special guests with us today, not one, but two special guests who I'm going to introduce you to right now. We're going live on Facebook as well as Instagram on the Super Captain Brave Man page, as well as my own personal Jennifer Norman Facebook page. And you can see, let's see, are we split screen? Are you guys up on our Instagram yet?
We just had a request over. We just have to get confirmed.
Okay, not yet? Okay, 1 second, don't worry. We're gonna get through these technical things. It's always a fun thing getting everything connected. So luckily we've got very wonderful and patient fans that know this process. I'm sure that they've all tried to do this on their own at one point or another.
Oh, turn it over.
Turn it over? Oh, I gotta flip it over.
Oh, there you are.
You see us for a second? You see the three of us? She'll be quiet. We trained her to be very quiet.
Geraldine, be quiet back there. Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you. We have Liat and Saul Regwan, who are here based in Los Angeles. And there's such magic that is going on between the two of them, and the fun thing is that there's magic in what they do. And one thing that they do is that they help with supporting indie books and indie authors through the Magic Bean bookstore, which Liat so proudly runs, and I'll let her tell you all about it. But then Saul, who is also an optometrist by trade, is a children's book author, inspired by parenthood. Instagram?
It's not on.
Oh, we're not on?
Okay.
No, looks like
Thanks so much. I have my producers whispering in my ear to help out. So I just want to make sure that everybody on Instagram also has the benefit of seeing your beautiful faces and gets to see you while we're doing this.
Request.
Okay.
Sending another request over.
Okay, no problem. Sometimes the requests drop out, but totally fine. Anyway, so we were so delighted to come across the Magic Bean bookstore, being an indie author myself, and also, you know, having books that are all for children and supporting children's entertainment, children's values. We thought that it was so nice to be connected with Liat and Saul, because this wonderful dynamic duo they are the parents of 3 beautiful children, and they also run the Magic Bean bookstore out of LA and put out some amazing children's books. And so I'm going to turn it over to you guys to tell everybody that's watching all about you. I love your dolls. It's so cute.
So I'll start with talking about a little bit about Magic Bean's bookstore, and then I'll let Saul take the stage. Again, thank you so much for letting us be here. And I'm Liat Regwan, married to Saul Regwan. And a couple of years ago, what did we say, 2 years ago or so?
Yeah, about
2 years ago, Saul got bit by the bug of writing children's books. He was inspired by our kids and reading to them every night, and the love of books that we have in our home. And he started writing and published his first book called The Adventures of Pugly Bear Home Sweet Home. And he realized that once the book was out there and it was published and everything, there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more out there. And what we really quickly realized was that there's really not really a home for self-published books and indie authors, and they're kind of just scattered all over the place. And we wanted, kind of a home for them, but also like for parents that want more outside the box books and topics that discuss, things that are not so cookie cutter. We wanted a home for them too. So we decided to come up with, like an online bookstore where we can just support indie authors, and more importantly, also give back to underserved kids that, don't have home libraries at home, and give them, brand new books signed by the authors and help them build home libraries. And it's been a really amazing journey so far, and we're really excited of where it's going. It's been growing pretty great. So
Amazing. And how long ago did you start Magic Bean?
He started it about 2 years ago, and then he kind of got busier with writing more books, and just he's also a full-time optometrist. So I kind of took over it last year. And you know, being home with 3 kids, I mean, I came from the corporate world, so I didn't know anything about this industry. It's a whole other world. And you know, just being home with 3 kids and all that, it was a lot. But I felt such a passion for it, and I think there's really a need for it. And there's definitely a market for it, and people love to see, you know, books that are not about just other, you know, they want to see books that deal with you know, disability and death and like things that, you know, we don't normally talk to kids about, because, you know, it's hard topics. But when you have a book and you read it to a child, they relate so much better, and they see pictures, and you know, the discussion is open. So we really wanted to open up that world to kids and to authors.
Amazing. The power of storytelling.
It
There's
is.
so much to learn, and there's so much to absorb, and there's so much that the little imaginations of those that are, you know, that are just learning and figuring the world out can find. And when it's presented in such a way that's so beautiful and entertaining for them, it's
And also when
very
they see
special.
themselves in books, like when they see themselves in a book, you know, they say, wow, that character looks like me, or that I can relate to that. It's so much more eye-opening, you know, for them, and they feel more connected, and they feel like they belong somewhere, you know? So it's really important.
Right.
It's basically a platform to readers, to moms, dads, grandparents. Something more than a cookie cutter kind of a thing here. So it's kind of like outside the box thinking, you know, self-expression and stuff that you would not find at a Barnes and Noble or a bookstore or anything like that. So that's it really, you know, it's a great platform for authors and for readers to have something that's a little bit different.
That's fantastic. Now I'm going to turn over to your inspiration and how all of a sudden you decided to move from optometry and you know, kind of have this side gig going of writing kids books. Tell me all about that.
Okay, so with me, I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would ever write children's books. It wasn't something that was in me, that it was about to come out. But as soon as my 3 kids were born, I was reading, you know, I would read them every night a bedtime story, 2, 3 books a night, and it would just nonstop. And which is, you know, I love doing that. And obviously, when you start doing that, you come up with stories of your own. And I had one that was stuck in my head while I was reading to them, Adventures of Pugly Bear, Home Sweet Home. So that started the first book. So my kids were my inspiration. So I started at a later age, and I had no idea that was my true calling, my true passion. If it wasn't for my kids, I probably would never have written a book. So I really, really enjoyed it. I love optometry. Like I tell everybody, I've done a lot of interviews, and I've told them I love optometry. I love helping people, you know, helping them with their sight. But as far as passion, this is it. This is passion. I could sit for days and days just writing, writing. You know, I just enjoy it because you're bringing your childhood into the world. So it's great. I love it.
It's so true. I think that a lot of parents can definitely recognize and relate to the fact that once you do have kids, it's almost like your life's purpose becomes known to you. Before that, you might have been chasing a career, you might have been chasing some other things, but there's something that happens in many parents that once that child you know, becomes your purpose, then anything that has to do with that child's life or what they're learning or helping to create a future for them is really what sets our hearts ablaze, right? Well, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can read a wonderful book of yours. Tell us which one you're going to share with us today.
So this is my newly released book, Geraldine and the Most Spectacular Science Project. It was released February 28th of this year, and by Schiffer Publishing. So it's a traditional publisher, which they're amazing to work with. This is going to be the first of the 4 series that's going to come out. This is a Gizmo Girl series. You can see it's a Gizmo Girl series. So this is going to be the first one. The second one is coming out in about 5 months from now, called Geraldine and the Space Bees. And the third and fourth will be next year. So I'll read the first one.
Okay, so we'll turn it over to you.
All right, let's start. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's see. All right. Can you see it okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I love being a troublemaker, shouted Geraldine. Let's all go to lunch right now. Yes, Geraldine was known as the loudest second grader in Pinewood Elementary School. The teachers called her Feisty Geraldine. To the children, she was just plain silly and often a bit mischievous. Instead of oh, Instead of paying attention to class, Geraldine spent the time daydreaming about becoming an astronaut. She thought about soaring through the sky in a rocket ship, floating and bobbing weightlessly in outer space. She was totally fascinated by spaceships, stars, the galaxy, and most of all, visiting Mars. That was her dream to just be the first woman astronaut to land on Mars. Geraldine had a wild imagination and loved creating unusual gadgets. She even took her mom's old toaster apart and added the pieces of her growing pile of old wires, screws, and assorted gizmos. Then she used the parts to build her own inventions, and fine creations they were. Geraldine's favorite inventions were her portable tissue dispenser for cold and allergy sufferers. This is great for the coronavirus social distancing. Even before that, so look how ahead she is of the time. But I'm wearing something like that. And a unique solution to wearing eyeglasses in the rain, little windshield wipers that basically defogs the glasses and get rid of the rain.
She's got to come out with a new mask invention.
I know. Well, wait till
Yes,
book number 5.
Ooh, okay.
Unfortunately, her inventions greatly affected her mom and dad's daily routine. They don't look too happy here. She really would take things apart. One day, Mrs. Headley made an exciting announcement that really caught Geraldine's attention. Now, you're going to love, I've been practicing for months with her voice, so bear with me here.
Okay.
Class, she announced, we are going to have a science contest. The winner will receive a first place trophy and the title of Best Second Grade Scientist. You like that?
Amazing.
Talent. What? Geraldine thought as she looked up from the spaceship she was drawing on her math paper. A science contest? Really? A science contest? This must be my lucky day. Geraldine listened carefully, which was quite unusual for her. Mrs. Headley continued, every year, we award a special trophy to the student who creates the most remarkable science project. Only one student will win first prize. This was exactly what Geraldine had been waiting for, an opportunity to show her classmates and teacher that she was not just a troublemaker. I can really do this, thought Geraldine. Right after school, Geraldine hurried back home to begin her project. Her first challenge was figuring out what to build. She started by gathering her piles and piles of gadgets, screws, and electronic parts. She tried to envision the most spectacular science project, one that could win first prize. She spent days measuring, cutting, fastening, and gluing her contraptions into various creations. They were unusual. Some even worked, but nothing was remarkable. Nothing would win the contest yet. One evening, Geraldine went out to her backyard, where she loved to lie in the grass, gaze at the stars, and look at her favorite planet, you guessed it, Mars. She made a wish on each star she saw. Her wishes were all the same. I wish I could think of a remarkable project that will win first prize. Suddenly, a brilliant idea popped into her head. That's it, she shouted, forming a circle with her right finger and thumb and looking through it with her right eye. I'm going to create a telescopic eyeglasses that will make it possible to see Mars from Earth. So can you do that if you just take your index finger and thumb, form a circle, and look up at the ceiling, at the sky that is. Okay, I just see like dirty cobwebs. Okay, so I guess I'm not a Geraldine. But if you see Mars, let me know. Geraldine worked frantically for days. She rummaged through her piles of gadgets and gizmos and found her father's old eyeglasses. She carefully removed the lenses from her mom's old camera. These would all be useful in bending the light as it reached the telescope. Next, she placed the lenses on opposite sides of an old paper towel tube and reinforced it with heavy-duty tape. By placing a small mirror between the lenses, she completed both optical tubes. Finally, she strapped both tubes her dad's glasses using a strong glue he had found in his shed. Quite imaginative. Geraldine sat back and admired her invention. At last, her masterpiece was complete. She ran outside to try it, and it worked. She was sure she could see Mars. The day of the science contest finally arrived. Geraldine and her classmates were busy displaying their projects. Joshua revealed his erupting volcano, which spewed clay lava all over Miss Headley's desk. Oh my goodness, look at this mess. Her head is cut off here, but I don't know why. But she has a really mad look on her face. Timothy displayed his remote-controlled solar system that showed all the planets circling the sun. And this one I really like. Annie arranged her miniature ecosystem and explained how certain things affect the environment. Pretty cool stuff. Then it was Geraldine's turn. Dun, da, da, da. As she walked to the front of the room, she heard her classmates whispering. One said, "She will never win." Another said, "She's too silly." Still another added, "All she does is daydream, duh." I added the duh. I wish I did. I put that in the book, but it's too late. Geraldine didn't care what they said. She knew that she was about to reveal something special. She stood in front of the class, proudly explaining her invention, and the class became silent. Everyone stared, their eyes wide open. No one uttered a word. They had never seen such an amazing invention. Then, one at a time, Geraldine let each of her classmates and even Miss Headley try the glasses. Geraldine had finally proven to the class that they were wrong about her. She wasn't just a mischievous daydreamer after all. She was a scientist. Miss Headley happily awarded Geraldine first place. "Geraldine," she said, "as winner of the science contest, you have now earned the title of Best Second Grade Scientist. The trophy is yours." Geraldine smiled as she gazed at the window at the beautiful blue sky. Thoughts of Mars came floating into her head. She was daydreaming once again. This time, she could see herself defying gravity, soaring through space to become the first astronaut to land on Mars. The end. And by the way, I think today, they're launching a rocket ship, which I heard was postponed due to weather changes.
Oh.
But it was supposed to be today. This would have been perfect with Geraldine's theme.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is, Geraldine's going to launch it instead of the real one. Yay, Geraldine. That was amazing. And I can see a lot of your previous life's inspiration in this story.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So tell everybody where they can find this book and what's coming up next for you.
Okay, so what's coming up next is the second book of the series called Geraldine and the Space Bees, which I have over this. And you can find this right now on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble online. And now that they're opening the bookstores, I heard that you can actually go in and get it. And through my publisher, Schiffer Publishing. And also through my website, saulreg1.com. So
Okay.
saulreg1.com.
It's not on magazines because it's not traditional.
It's not traditional.
It's not self-published.
She would not let this book on Magic Beans. I think I'm going to have to boycott Magic Beans.
Extremely, I was going to say that's some extreme criteria there. That's very exclusive, I see. But I appreciate the principle. And so tell everybody where they can find Magic Bean.
Just go to our website at magicbeansbookstore.com and that's on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you have any questions or anything, we're always here. Just email us and we'll get back to you. And we do hope everyone is staying really safe and healthy and through these uncertain times. I know that reading has been definitely going up because people are, are home and they're looking for things to do, and we can't have our kids be in front of the screen all day. So.
And one of the things,
right.
Want coloring pages for Geraldine, I have them free of charge. I can go ahead and send it to you. Just go to my website, saulreg1.com. Just write me something that and I'll send you free coloring pages for the kids.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, salregwan.com, magicbeanbookstore.com, free coloring pages. What more could you ask for? I want to thank you guys so much for introducing yourselves and your book to the Super Captain Brave fans out there. Kyle is so happy to see you, and maybe when we're all able to reveal ourselves and be out in the world, we'll be able to get our kids together sometime. I hope so too. And
You're in LA? Yeah.
we're in LA as well. Yep. We're over on the Valley side. And so everybody can be reminded, you can go visit SuperCaptainBraveMan.com, and we have a promo going on right now. If you use the promo code SUPER20, you'll get 20% off your entire order. And with every order, you'll receive fun stickers and temporary tattoos. And we also do have some coloring pages that you can download there. And if anybody is interested, you can just tag 3 friends on the post for this live stream and be in the running to receive a Super Captain Brave Man t-shirt, completely free. You guys are very shy. I want to see more tags going on out there for this. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being our special guests today. We will be back here on Friday for our final live stream before summer break. It's been so much fun, you guys, and we appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Liat. Bye, Saul. Take care. Bye, everybody.